Hi everybody, this is Tracy from Baylee's Furniture Boutique. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're gonna do a tutorial on this glass dish. We're gonna do some reverse decoupage on it with this Mackenzie-Childs dupe napkin that I've got off of Amazon. I picked this tray up at a thrift store and we're gonna repurpose it into a trinket tray. The first thing you want to do is clean your tray, and you can use Windex or whatever you want. Today I'm using alcohol, and this will just get all the fingerprints off, all of the impurities, and it dries quickly. We're really not going to do anything to the inside of the dish. We're going to be working on the outside of the dish. Okay, so that's that. And I'm just trying to get dust and fingerprints and things like that off of it. Okay, I got some on my space. Alcohol dries really fast, and that's why I like to use it. Okay. Now you want to get a brush, and you want a clean, dry brush. And I just washed all of mine, so they're a little bit damp. And we're going to put our decoupage medium on it. If you're using Mod Podge, I mean, you can use whatever medium you want. I don't use Mod Podge. I use Pentart Decoupage varnish and glue. This is the top coat. It's 2-in-1. It's the top coat and the glue all in one. It lasts a long time. It's wonderful stuff. I'm not a fan of Mod Podge. A lot of people like it, and that's okay. There's a lot of different mediums out there to use. So what we want to do is start by putting this on our surface. And you want a generous layer, but not too thick. And you want to make sure you get it everywhere. And because this dish isn't flat, the iron method really doesn't work too well. I mean, you can do it on the flatter surfaces, but it really doesn't work too well. So we'll get a thin layer down. And then, I didn't prepare my napkin prior to, but this napkin is a 3-ply, so you want to make sure you get the 2 underplies off. And we just want the outer ply where the design is. Okay. And I use these to wipe clean glass and do different things. You can throw them away or you can keep them. Okay, like I said, we're going to do a reverse decoupage, and we want the pattern to be on the inside of the glass. So we're going to put this on inside out. And I kind of cut it to fit the glass already. And you just want to kind of smooth it out. Now, to smooth it out, napkins are thin and you want to be careful. You can use your finger like I'm doing here. Also, plastic bag works, or you can use saran wrap. And we just want to try to get it laid down and get the wrinkles out. And this is not a flat surface, so you're going to have a little bit of wrinkles, and that's okay. It adds character, and homemade items are perfectly imperfect. You just want to kind of smooth it out. And then we're going to dry it a little bit. So I can get the edges off. So this is what we have so far. I'm going to dry it a little bit. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the edges off. And I do have that lined up pretty good. So I'm just using my little gator sander here. And I'm just going to go along here and take the edges off. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to cover up our edges later on. Okay, I got all the excess off. And now what we're going to do is put another coat on over top. And again, this is Pentart Decoupage Glue and Varnish all in one. And we're just going to put this on top just to make sure we have it down everywhere, and it'll give it a little bit of a seal. And then we're going to dry it again. Today's a perfect day for crafting. That's, I don't know where you are, but it's yucky today. Okay, now I have that covered. I'm going to go ahead and give it a dry. The drying process between each step is what takes so much of the time. But it's necessary. This is just a quick little project. And you want to make sure it's good and dry, because when we flip it over to do the edges, you don't want it to stick to whatever you're setting it on. So that's why I'm focusing on the very bottom, because we're going to flip it over. We're going to also paint this. And I see my sandpaper took off. I'm going to show you. Took off a little piece on the edge here. And I'm not going to bother trying to fix that because it's so close to the lip, if you can see it. So I'm not going to bother fixing that. You can use a heat gun. This is a heat gun. You can use a blow dryer, whatever works for you, or you can leave it sit and dry naturally. All of that is for personal preference. I think it could use a little drier, but I think it's dry enough for us to proceed. Okay, so now we're going to go over this with some white paint, and I am using Pentart acrylic white paint. Any white paint will do, whatever you have. Chalk paint works. Whatever you have. And I'm just going to use my glue brush because it's white already. And we're just, we're going to go over this. And you might need 2 coats. We'll see what it looks like when I get the one on here. The second coat, I'm going to use a pouncer to give it a little bit of texture. Because it looks like I'll need a second one here. And then we're going to dry it again. Just want to make sure you can see it. Sometimes I get going and I don't realize I'm out of view with the camera. Okay. All right, so I have it covered, and we're going to go ahead and give it a quick dry. If you're using a heat gun, they get really hot, so you want to keep it moving. You don't want to focus on one area too long because you'll burn it. The blow dryer doesn't get near as hot. Okay, it's dry enough to handle. And I just want to show you what it's looking like on the other side. And you can use it as a candy dish. It'll be food safe because all of the product is underneath. This is a reverse decoupage. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit more white paint on my tray here. And I'm going to use a pouncer that I got at Dollar Tree. I just got it at Dollar Tree. You can get these just about anywhere. So I'm just going to dab it in my white paint and I'm just going to pounce. And it just gives it a little bit of a texture. And then it fills in where you messed with the brush. Okay. And then we're going to dry it again. Okay. Now we're going to give it a dry. Again, I'm going to focus on the flat part so we can flip it over and so it won't stick. And I'm also going to set it on parchment paper. That'll help it not stick. But it is best to let these dry on their own accord, and that way they're good and dry. So I have a piece of parchment paper here. I'm just gonna set this down on top of it to help with the sticking. Okay, and it's not completely dry yet on the sides, and I've got some white paint on the edges, and I'm just going to take some alcohol and get that off. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some gold wax paste from Pentart. I love this stuff. It comes in tons of colors. I have an antique gold. Here's a bronze. There's a silver somewhere. This is graphite. And I just got some new ones and I haven't used yet. Purple, turquoise, blue. We'll be using some stuff in that. We'll be doing some projects with that. So what I'm going to do with the gold wax paste here is I'm going to go put it all around the edges, and I'm just going to use my finger. And this is oil based and it dries pretty much instantly. And you can use a brush. I'm just going to use my finger. And it just gives a pretty finished look. And you can just keep going over it until you have the look that you want. I'm just trying to get the edging here real quick. This will not be dishwasher safe, by the way. And you just put it around where you want it. How thick you want it, how thin you want it, it's all personal preference. But now we have a Mackenzie-Childs dupe trinket tray that's not dry yet. Very pretty. I'm gonna put it over here so it dries the rest of the way. Thank you. I hope this helps. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a comment if it was useful, helpful, or not. Thank you.